Tonight, the father of a teen fatally shot by Cincinnati police Thursday, now behind bars, after investigators say he killed a deputy from another department the next day with his car.
There is a connection between these two incidents.
38-year-old Rodney Hinton Jr. is charged with aggravated murder. Prosecutors say he intentionally struck a recently retired Hamilton County deputy who was on traffic patrol.
I've got an officer now.
A makeshift memorial today at the intersection. The deputy, just identified by the sheriff's office as Larry Henderson, later died at the hospital.
He was so well liked and so well known.
A courtroom full of law enforcement Saturday as Hinton faced a judge. His team in court calling this an emotionally charged situation. Hinton making a hard-to-hear comment to deputies while being escorted out in handcuffs. The crash happened just hours after he joined a meeting with Cincinnati police to review body camera video of his son's death, according to the attorneys hired by the family to investigate the police shooting. The video, now publicly released from two different angles, shows 18-year-old Ryan Hinton being shot and killed Thursday morning by a city police officer.
He's got a gun.
Investigators say the teen pointed a gun at Cincinnati officers responding to a call of a stolen vehicle. Hinton's family attorneys tonight writing they are heartbroken by this tragic turn of events, and we are all devastated for the family of the officer who was killed.
Shaquille Brewster joins us now from Cincinnati. So, Shaq, what is next here for the man being charged?
Hallie, he's scheduled to be back in this courthouse Tuesday morning as the state requests he be held without bond. Meanwhile, you see it there. Flags on county buildings have been lowered to half staff in honor of that fallen deputy. Hallie?
Across the country, the countdown is on to get a real ID.
I hope I'm able to get it at least before the deadline.
From New York to North Carolina, scenes like this. People waiting in long lines to get one. They have a Gold Star, California Bear, or say Enhanced in Washington State. And you'll need one if you're planning to fly domestically or visit some federal facilities.
These IDs keep our country safe.
These people are waiting for a real ID in Chicago.
It's the longest I've waited in a line for an ID before.
Alexi Janulius is the Illinois Secretary of State.
What does May 7th mean to you?
Chaos, unnecessary chaos, confusion.
His office has been overwhelmed, so they created the first ever Real ID Supercenter to handle Real ID requests. On average, this Real ID Supercenter processes 1,500 applications daily.
I never would imagine that the Real ID Supercenter would be this popular. We've had other states reach out to us about how to get it done. They want to do it.
But no matter where you live, there are some things you need to know before you get a Real ID. First, that May 7th deadline, that's not the last day you can get one.
I think there's this misnomer out there that because it's a deadline on May 7th, we're going to stop issuing them. That is not the case.
Starting May 7th, you will need a Real ID if you're planning to fly. But even then, you'll still be able to use other documentation.
If you have a passport, travel with your passport.
A passport, a green card, or a military ID. Also, before you go get a Real ID, check online to make sure you have the documents you need. Dorian Irons found out the hard way, denied twice in 1 week.
You look like you're on the verge of tears.
I am, just a little bit.
And when you go, be ready to wait. When we visited the Supercenter, it took some people 2.5 hours.
I'm going to be here a very long time.
It just takes a little planning and a lot of patience. Adrienne Broaddus, NBC News, Chicago.
Vatican now, where they're making the final preparations for the conclave this week to select the next pope. Ann Thompson is there and following it all tonight. Ann, good evening.
Good evening, Hallie. There's a real sense of anticipation here in Vatican City as we move ever closer to Wednesday's conclave. Tonight, the final mass marking the end of 9 days of mourning for Pope Francis, who died last month. In attendance, the cardinal electors will choose the next pope. But an AI-generated image of President Trump as pope has ignited a firestorm. The president posted that image on social media this weekend, and the White House reposted it. New York's Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who is a friend of Trump, said it was not good, left a bad impression, and he hoped the president had nothing to do with it. Hallie?